If you've been struggling to grow your beard or your mustache, then this video is for you, because this was me for so long. For ages, I wanted to join beard gang, but it just was not happening naturally, no matter how long I waited. I'd literally be looking at dudes on Instagram with like super thick beards, and I'd just be sitting there thinking, when will it be my time? I decided to go on the internet and start looking around to see if there's anything I could do to potentially stimulate the growth. The first thing I did years ago was look into biotin, because a lot of people said that helps growth. If I'm being completely honest, I personally didn't see any improvements with, so that was kind of a strikeout. The next thing, of course, you've seen the title of the video, was Minoxidil. I had heard of Minoxidil, but if I'm being completely honest, I was completely scared to put it on my face, simply due to all the potential side effects I heard about online. But after years of putting it off, I thought, you know what, I just want to try it and just see if I see any sort of improvement. So what I did from when I started, every single week I take progress videos. So I did that for the past 90 days. So I'm going to take you through those vlog clips now. Then later on in the video, I'll come back and actually tell you exactly what routine I did and how often, and basically how I started seeing faster growth in my beard. I didn't want to shave the whole thing off. And this is the facial growth so far. Quite a lot of hair that's grown in such a short period. And underneath, still, as you can see, Alright, so far, I'm starting to see the areas that's starting to growing a little bit quicker. The only thing I will say is that there's certain areas that aren't really growing at all at the moment, like here, completely smooth. The Minoxidil is working, without a doubt. There's areas growing that didn't grow before. It's starting to finally fill in this gap here. Same goes on here. You can see that here is a lot thicker. The moustache area, I've never had a really thick moustache. That's one of the things I do kind of want. I want to have a thick moustache you can actually see. Alright peeps, so when it comes to the beard now, we are on, oh damn, I'm losing track now. I think we're on week 8 or 9. But yeah, the one thing I'm noticing is that definitely some parts grow faster than others. So what I'm doing is, I get my little clipper, I put it to, I think what the shortest length of my beard is, and I just shave it down. So every so often, you may notice it looks a little bit lower than others. It's simply because I just redo it again to try and get it the same length. The key thing I'm trying to do though at the moment is get these areas filling in, so they come in thicker. They're not as thick like say down here. Yeah, I say the biggest improvement I can definitely notice is the mustache, without a doubt. Before it was like feathers, you know, you can barely see it. Now it's at least obvious to other people that I have one, which is a plus. Yeah, and my girl even said my beard's starting to look a little bit fuller. Like, she doesn't know exactly what I've been doing, but she mentioned to me the other day, oh, your beard's looking a lot darker and thicker than normal. And I was like, you know what I mean? All right, so now you've seen like the clips over the past 90 days. You can kind of see the speed in which the growth started to come in. I would say my growth was very, it felt quick for me, obviously, but compared to other people I've seen online, I'd say it's a very moderate approach. So if you're someone that's not expecting those extreme results, I think this is a good video to compare. My main goal though when I started this was because I wanted to get a visible mustache. Before it was so faint that realistically, unless you're like this close to my face, you just couldn't see it. So I felt like I needed that at the bare minimum, which thankfully I've achieved. Hopefully you can see it from the camera. Now, as for the actual routine that I did, so what I did for the first 60 days of this, every single day without fail, twice a day, I used this Minoxidil. So literally it's like a foam, it comes out. Basically you spray it in your hand. Well, I can do a little bit here just to show you guys. Oh, I missed a step. I bought a Derma roller, and basically what you do is you roll it on your face. You don't have to press down mad hard. You just kind of do like a little bit of a light pressure, roll it over the main areas. I was doing the full area at first. I wish I started under my neck because that's some areas now that I need to really improve. But initially this is just the technique. Do that for the mustache. Like that, light press. Then literally you would get the foam and just rub it into the area and just slightly massage it in. And don't worry, for these things, I will drop like links in the description box so you can kind of know the exact ones I got in the Derma roller, because there's different lengths of Derma rollers you can use. So I'll put that in the description box. Then for the final 30 days that's just gone past now, I went down. I wasn't doing it twice a day anymore. I was doing it once a day, simply for the fact that I saw people online saying that if you use it all the time, when you stop, sometimes the hairs will go. So I thought if I reduce it and I just see if I saw the hairs getting lighter again, and I haven't really seen a difference, to be honest. And one thing I will note as well is that you may notice in the video clips that for the final 3-ish weeks that you've seen, there's not much length growth in the beard. That's simply because I kept using the trimmer, whatever, to try and keep it all level. So for example, I'd put it on like the guard 10 or 9.5, which is the highest guard, and I would just literally shave over it to try and make sure it was level. Now for the side effects, let's go through some of those first. In regards to me, I would say within the first 10 days, I noticed that my skin was starting to get a little bit dry from like using it consistently, which is weird because I don't normally get dry skin like that. It wasn't flaky or anything, it was just really, I could feel like when I touched it, it just felt like more, I don't know, brittle and rougher. But at that point, because my face hairs were still pretty light, I just used cocoa butter and just kind of, you know, just cream my skin, just do multiple times as and when it felt real dry. But once my hair started to actually get to a fair thickness, so you can actually kind of see it, what I started doing was just simply putting on this, which is just Jamaican black castor oil. So this really attached to the beard hairs, and it just kind of naturally made it just more moist, and the dryness kind of went away. It also made my beard a lot more shiny as well. And black castor oil is also meant to help with hair growth anyway, so maybe it could have helped, but I didn't use it all the time because after about a week of using this, the dryness just went away, and then I didn't have to keep using it. It's something I probably will add in eventually because my girl did like the smell of it. She said it smelled really nice. So I'll probably do that in the future anyway, just to make it look more shiny and groomed. But overall, those are the main side effects I experienced. In regards to those things you see online, like the heart palpitations and stuff like that, thankfully, I did not experience any of that. Like, that was just nowhere. Because that was one thing I was definitely scared about. Because that's why I didn't even bother use this for years, because I was worried that's going to happen. But the reason why I kind of decided to take the leap of faith is because I thought, I'm kind of a healthy-ish guy. I go to the gym, I'm fairly fit. I was just hoping that basically those side effects may just go to the average person that may not be that fit. So I thought maybe as someone that exercises quite a lot, it may not impact me. If you look under my neck, they're light quite here, and that is partly because I never was really derma rolling or doing under my neck. In my head, I was just doing like here, the parts I could see when I looked in the mirror. I didn't really think to lift my neck and go underneath because I just wasn't thinking about that. But once I've kind of seen online the beard mistakes, for example, people that have a beard and they just shave it from here and leave their neck exposed and the neck has no hair, it almost makes it look more overweight because it's just, as we call, nasty work, because it just looks like your neck is sticking out. It just looks terrible. So it's always better to have the beard, at least have some of your neck covered. It helps in create more of a better jawline, and also it helps you look less fat. So that is definitely something that I wish I kind of was keeping up with. So going forward, that's probably the main area I'm going to try and improve. I'll do an update video to this probably at like 6 months marker and let you guys see an update. And the final tips I would give you guys for what could potentially help with quicker, faster beard growth. One of the things I did do is that when I did apply the Minoxidil and the Derma roller, all that stuff, I did it after I had a hot shower, because I see girls always talking about like to open their pores, they put like a hot towel on their face because it helps open their pores. So I thought if I did this after a hot shower and my pores were open, maybe that plus the derma roller will help it like penetrate my skin a lot more. Obviously, I highly recommend getting a derma roller. I think rubbing the minoxidil just on your skin alone, I don't think that's beneficial enough, because you don't know how much your skin's really going to absorb if it's just placing it on top of your skin. I also got my little brother one of these as well, and he saw beard improvements. And lastly, which is the most important, which is consistency. You need to stick with it. Making sure to consistently do this like twice a day for the first 60 days, I think was the biggest plus and the biggest improvement area if you look at the video clips. So when it comes to my actual beard progress, I'm happy with it. It looks way more fuller than it used to look, and I know for a fact this would not have happened if I just waited around. It just wasn't going to happen naturally. And having a fairly visible beard is kind of like a rite of passage for like most men. You know, girls kind of like it as well. That's always a plus. But for those of you out there that want to see more self-improvement tips, especially if you're a dude, be sure to check out these videos here.